is it reads like a success story. So I hope that I gave you some really key little things to your bones, vaccines to avoid, what you can do for your overall health, and how to better guide you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Tim. Lieutenant Colonel Pete Chambers vaccinated himself as a former Marine Corps surgeon. Michelle Hubbard, otherwise known as the Hurricane, is a community outspoken understanding the vaccine community. Joining us.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. Thank you for being here and tuning in. We're at Thrive in 2025, and we are here and streaming. Lots of keynote speakers. Stay tuned. And, looking forward to streaming. Thanks, man.
Good job, Jared. Good job. Let's go back to this bill. Yep. Yeah, no. There we go. Okay. Hi. Say again. Oh, he's fine. There we go. All right, so why are we here? What's one word if you could think about it? Why are we here? And I'm just going to help you. Shoot from the hip. Shoot from the hip. So got 5 minutes to talk about that. So I'm just kicking off here. So my name is BJ, and I'm a soldier. I've been a soldier for a long time. When you were living in the president, I'm president. I actually stood on tarmac and long way playing in water. With the 20-foot infantry division, I was just 19-year-old kid in rifle. They walked by and I think we got close to it. And things have changed since then. Right? We got up and it's just but for the last 5 years of my life, military life, was in Texas and Afghanistan. And so I spent most of that in the COVID mission for the current government. I was his liaison, so I know one of the mistakes that we made, and it's still another thing with inside was to operation work for years. I'm going to say that, I got to the border and I watched the invasion. I stood out here and did it for a while, for 5 years. I was the only private next to officially when my officer came by. And as an officer, I remember, that's a list again. When you're in charge of stuff, you're responsible for everything that happens. But it doesn't take ownership. When you're trying to do good, you don't take ownership of that. You're crazy. When they do bad, you take ownership of it. It sucks. So, but that's what we do. So, if I look at myself, as I try to do is my walk. This is a reflection with me. I look at things that try you away. We have a spirit in the station. We've got a soul, we've got a body. And the spirit of the country has been under attack. And it's a spiritual actors, some forces of darkness, if you will. And you can read the book if you want. There's some red letters in it. You don't have to read the red letters if you want. But it's true. But my spirit is attuned to the commander's voice. Right? This is the commander's intent. And the commander has me English and said, keep going, go forward and do this. And he'll do this. It's very simple. And when I read those words, I hear the words from my commanders, whether it was on the border, whether it was Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, or any places we were protecting their borders. I'll say this, because sometimes the words come down to that. Sometimes it comes off, sometimes it don't be, sometimes it's more. And staying on the border a few years ago, sorry to see Dr. Long is here, but she was the one that was handling things on the Fort Rutgers side, was the border side. But over came down to me and said, you will put your informed consents or your careers on the line.
Hey guys, let me mute this mic. Hey guys, can you tell us? Somebody in the comments can tell us if how the audio is. This guy's coming in a little low.
Guess what? I lost. Well, guess what?
I don't know if this mic works better.
Okay,
We're doing tech work live.
He's used to doing this. It's just like
So we're here with Barry. I'm gonna pan the camera over to him.
we want this truth one.
Barry.
It's taken a while to get here, right? Every one of you here are.
No. I pointed it at you on purpose. I pointed it at you on purpose.
Trying this nation, on the state of Texas, on that border, infiltration is taking place, whether you believe it or not. Good generation warfare.
Yeah, this guy's coming in too low. Audio's very low, peaked, but your mic is amazing. Yeah, my mic is good because I have a handheld, but this guy's coming in a little low. But we'll try to fix that as we go. Thank you, guys.
They're saying there was coming to me. I was thought it was fixed no longer like person surrounded them, it's 300 left. It was less than 300. But for general, by that time, it's coming to me. Same thing that's on our battle plan in 1936, 1945. There was a pub. And so it. So that republic of Texas, there is such. No offense to California, but California like this. It is a natural expression of a man, of God, character, simple justice to see that.
Yeah, it was
It's the last thing we do when we sit on the sidelines. I would have driven him all the way from Central Texas. He talked to God. Not talking about something of substance. That's why I'm here. The same kind of people. You are the same. So mostly, one of them is the Constitution of Texas, the Republic of Texas, the state of Texas. They go like this. Humbly and boasting the blessings of the Almighty God, the people of the state of Texas, you ordained and established this Constitution. You realize that you have friends, and they don't come from a state. They get transferred to a state of the former Constitution of the rights. Those rights are ordained upon you as someone that's created in His image, the Creator. That's just a fact. You don't have to believe it. So you shake your head. You say, well, people crazy. No, crazy off on a train and then go from Austin, Texas. Right? Here's how this is going to work. I am not committed to share, and I am determined with all my might to be the senior.
We're going to attempt to fix the mic right now by putting it a little closer, and I'll let you guys know in a second. Victim Olympics says, can anyone understand the speaker? I'm going to try to get closer. Let me know how this works.
I don't win this, the people will win this. If I consider that I am a public servant to those people, if I the people for the people, if I consider that, and I'm a man of my word, and anybody knows me out there knows this, I don't mince words when it comes to things like that. I still hold the line on the border. I still stand out there about every third week now, not every third night. I'm still out there with a bunch of pipers that are still out there protecting your border from the southern side. And those guys can go and provide it for me. Because we're still out there. So understand this. This is the last little bit here. We've got some other folks that need to come up with. Understand this. That the truest virtue of a warrior is love. Okay? It's not about, and it took me a long time to figure this out as a soldier. I was an infantry guy, run. I carried a rifle and I got expert badge on bayonet. How do you do that? Because you're a good soldier, right? But I don't see those anymore. But when you hear fixed bayonets as an infantry guy, that's the scariest thing you can think of, because you're going to be hand to hand. And figuratively speaking, we will be up against the largest leviathan of politics in this nation, aside from the presidency. And this is no easy task. And this is going to be straight up grassroots. I'll be honest with you, straight up. I can't announce, and this is a soft announce. I have $1 $1 in the bank account for that campaign. One. That's where we're starting. Because it will demonstrate something greater than I can even explain. So the truest virtue of a warrior's love. We love who's next to us in foxholes, and we love our families behind us. We don't fight because we hate. If we do, we fight out of the wrong kind of energies, right? For the crystal people group. And it's no joke. Energy is energy in motion is emotion. Right? You start fighting up here, you're fighting in love. And I'm talking about figurative speaking and fighting. You fight out of hate, you lose. So we gotta love every single person through this, and we will. Down to the lowest common denominator. All the way from the Rio Grande to the Red River, from El Paso all the way to Beaumont. And I love every one of you. And I love every one of you. Thank you for the time.
Dear me, what a hero, I tell you, thank you so much for your service. So yeah, Jimmy, I do advocate for the vaccine and Jimmy being one of them. That's the line that I say every time I get up before the Butte County Board of Supervisors, because I was poisoned by the Butte County Public Health Department. And the Butte County, California, Board of Supervisors has oversight responsibility for that public health department. So for the past 3.5 years, I go to every single meeting. For the past 8 months, I've been on the road with Ronald F. Owens Jr., who wrote MuzzleTruth.com. And to date, I've given 78 public comments to 28 of the 58 counties in California, driving over 10,000 miles. And it's working. Ron and I went to Shasta County, Northern California, in December, and the chairman asked us to come back and speak to the public health officer in a private meeting, which we did in February. And last month, that public health officer went in front of the public at a county meeting and told them these vaccines are not necessarily safe. So that was a big win. Last week, this past Wednesday, Ron and I had a 1-hour meeting with Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco. He's running for California governor. He wanted to know why his vaccines, he went from seeing his 50-year-old deputies dropping dead to his 20-year-old deputies having strokes. And he wanted to know why. So we spoke to him for an hour last week. And I got to speak in Ventura County with Amalia and with Dr. Judy Mikovits, about the measles outbreak. Oh my God, I'll be fear-mongering and starting all over again. So I'm saying, so solution number one, get in front of your counties. They're responsible for the poisoning. They order the vaccines, they distribute the vaccines, they pay for the vaccines, they're responsible for poisoning the communities. That's number one. My vaccine injury story is very different. So 2020, I'm up in Chico, California, Butte County, working for Endo Medical Center as a patient ambassador, part of a volunteer army. My second career. I've been in Silicon Valley as an HR executive for 25 years, and I moved to Chico to retire. Was on the board of directors, patient ambassador in 2020. All hell was breaking news, as we know. I had my mom down in Santa Clara County, Belly of the Beast, where she couldn't understand why she's watching seniors locked in the senior living facility by her house with their families outside watching them die. My daughter is a medical assistant in Alameda County, and she's working in a respiratory clinic where they're recycling PPE. So that's my 2020 story. So when the vaccine rolled into Butte County at the end of 2020, I was all in. I have 3 generations of my family that are being impacted, right? So I rolled up my sleeve, took 2 shots in Inferno. Not only did I roll up my sleeve, I actually volunteered to work at the Butte County Public Health vaccine clinics, the mass vaccination clinics being held in Chico. So for 6 months, from January through June, I worked at 35 clinics, 8 hours a day, passing out 200 syringes an hour. And to that count, there's 56,000 members of my community that I watched get poisoned. That fuels me to stay. But God put me there for a reason. Somebody had to share witness on the inside, and that was me. I documented everything. I took pictures. In my brain fog was the first injury from that second Moderna shot, and the neurologist called it microangiopathy. I witnessed injuries in the chairs. The Chico State track athlete team came into their shots because Chico State demanded they get vaccinated. Kid sits in a chair, healthy as a horse, syringe and arm, he's on the floor seizing. I'm listening to the Butte Community College nursing students talk about their menstrual disruptions every single day. And I went to Dr. Andy Miller. I said, what is going on? He muzzled me, just like Mon F. Owen Jr. was muzzled, told me to sit down and shut up. I then again went to the county and started demanding answers, demanding investigations. And when I wasn't getting anywhere, I started doing FOIA requests. I literally have evidence that HHS Secretary Javier Becerra, who came to Chico in March of 2022 to understand why our parents were so vaccine hesitant, paid Butte County Public Health Department $225,000 to hunt children of Chico between the ages of 5 and 17 for 4 months, between March and June of 2022, and I've documented them all. I also did a FOIA request about every batch number of every product Moderna, Pfizer, J&J administered in this county. This right here are the pediatric vaccines, and the yellow are administrative errors. They've labeled them all. I've got all the deaths, all the things out of errors that are recorded for these shots from Butte County Public Health. So they also took $5 million from the state immunization assistance. So solution number 2, I've got Butte County to the rights. I can use a lawyer to come in and I will give them a treasure trove. I've talked to Dr. Ely about grand jury process, whatever it takes, but we've got Butte County to the rights. Number 3, so 2022, again, my injuries became worse. I have had 3 detached retinas. I've got 5 emergency eye surgeries, chronic tinnitus, and on August 15th, my mom died. Yeah, on vacation in Buffalo, Wyoming. Healthy woman, healthy as a horse. Not a one problem, not any underlying condition, but I had her vaccine card. And when the coroner called, I said, she's been murdered. 4 shots in Moderna killed that woman. And I want an investigation. By the end of that Monday, the sheriff goes, we're going to call the SADS. I go, SAD an adult? You mean like SIDS? Like the babies that were put by the vaccine? Now you're telling me my mom died of the vaccine. You're calling it SADS. They had to call in the Wyoming state pathologist. Again, my mom just died for no reason at my aunt's house. And so the Wyoming state pathologist, Dr. Tom Bennett, was going to do as much as he could with the tissues in her labs. I called him and I Googled him and I talked to him as much as I could. I'm sending him information. She goes, Julie, I don't know what you're talking about. I have no tests for this stuff. I don't know how to deal with this. I don't understand. I mean, I'm sending him Dr. Judy Mine for this stuff. I was sending him so much information. I was flooding him. And now I've got Dr. Triantos, a brave man, who sent me a kit to send her tissues over to Italy to prove that the vaccine killed her. Why am I sending her tissues to Italy? Why? Where are the pathologists? So solution number 3, where are our pathologists? We need educational materials going to every county coroner, every funeral home director, every state pathologist telling them vaccines are bad and how can they test for it? How can they look for this bad information, right? We need to get that done. My mom's got a CICP claim that's not adjudicated. Any lawyer that wants to help me push through that CICP claim, I'd appreciate it. Okay, number 4, 2023, I set my sights on the California State Board of Pharmacy. I'm tired of walking into my pharmacies with all these big ads for shingles and flu and all these vaccines, right? What's going on? California State Board of Pharmacy has oversight for these pharmacies. So November 1st, 2023, I went to my first meeting in Sacramento, pulled the information out of theirs because now I'm certified to run information out of Metalworks by the National Vaccine Information Center. I said, you've got 24,000 VAERS reports filed. Shots you've administered at the pharmacies in California, and you've got 74 dead people. Do you know about this? That was November 1st, 2023. I've now gone to 11 meetings, and last week I stood before them, I said, yeah, you've now got over 26,000 vaccine injured in California from shots administered. One of your pharmacies and 90 people dead, that's 60 people blood on your hands. So again, solution number 4, we got to stop administration of these shots at pharmacies. It's out of control. And people, and get your support. The public needs to stop with it. We need to pass legislation, guidelines. They started with the flu shot in 2016, and now it's everything. Now it's the kids who are dropping dead at the pharmacies. It's outrageous. We've got to stop that. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. How you can help me? I've got cards everywhere. I could use interviews. The more I can embarrass Butte County, the more chance that I get that I can rattle their cages a little bit. The sheriff's doing nothing in Butte County, so that's a disappointment. And again, any attorneys that want to take on Butte County Public Health Department or the California State Board of Pharmacy, we pretty much got them dead to rights. So thank you for your time today. I guess you can hear everything I just said. I am the hurricane. I'm Hurricane Shelly, and I'm here to give you some news. I know a lot of people are worried about what I was going to say before I got here, but I was actually worried myself. But CC always tells me that I need to keep at least one wing, and I am going to try my best. So see if you can prayer for me. I was injured after my second shot of Pfizer. It only took 40 minutes after that, and it changed my life forever. I'll never be the person I was before, but I can try and do the best to save future generations. Many of us that are injured, we speak out to save future generations, but we also speak out because we want to stop the shots, and we also want help for ourselves. We have been screaming for years that we need help. For 4.5 years, we have been speaking out. No matter what happens, we get gaslit from doctors continuously. Many people are still bedbound. Many people want to commit suicide because they can't deal with the pain and agony. We get together as a support group and we talk about just staying alive, giving each other hope. But many people on the outside are telling us that we have 3 to 5 years or we need to be on respite care. Or is everyone waiting to treat us after we die? I mean, they say 3 to 5 years. Are they waiting? We don't have any attorneys. All we have is supplements. I want to show you something. I was on one pill. I was healthy doing CrossFit. I was a badass. I couldn't do it. And I did martial arts. I was something, ran 3 to 6 miles a day. I was proud of myself. I got to take my cardio. But from one pill, I had a thyroid disorder. Now, because we have to take multiple supplements, because that's all that's given to us. Now, this is, you want to watch it rain? Here, let's watch it rain. We're still going. I can keep doing this. This is my life. Every day. And everybody wonders, why are you so angry? You shouldn't be angry. I'm angry because this is my life now, and it shouldn't be this way. Shouldn't be it for me, shouldn't be it for Cody, shouldn't be for the people that have lost their lives. None of this should be happening. When we talk about solutions, we need to talk about solutions that are going to help us, not just to stop the shots. You want me to speak out, you want me to save future generations, then help me. Do you know that when we go to the doctors, if you have insurance, a lot of that will be covered. HSpot's not covered. IV therapies aren't covered. What is it? They want me to do, what is it, the cancer protocol, $3,000 a month for, 3 months, see if it works, and then do it again. Or go to Alabama and pay $15,000 for something. This is stuff out of pocket. We are fighting for disabilities. A lot of us can't get disabilities. I had to go in front of a hearing. And then thank God I had a prayer warrior group that prayed for me before I got it because I had to go in front of a hearing. If it wasn't for them, I don't think I would have done it. A lot of us don't have insurance. If Cody's law would have passed, Governor DeSantis ignored us in the state of Florida. He is a coward in my eyes. I have no respect for him. I was on his round table in 2022 in December, and then others followed in 2023. Were our voices used for their political gains, or were they really going to help us? Because at that point, they have ignored us. I have made a complaint to the AG. I have made a complaint wherever that can be. I speak to senators and congressmen. I speak at Senate legislation delegation meetings. I get in front of the county commissioner, city commissioner, and if they are out speaking somewhere, I will let myself be known and bless them with my presence. And as they speak, I will overtalk them and let them know that we exist, because people don't think we exist. As injured, we feel like we're treated like our lives don't matter and we don't exist. The thing is, we do matter and we do exist, and we do expect to get help from others. We deserve better than our elite doctors selling us protocols, saying it's going to work when it's not. We knew that these protocols were not working. We tried to communicate with them. We were censored. They didn't want to hear us. I'm even blocked by a few of them, and even a company. Sorry, did I say that loud? I didn't know. Sorry.
Say it again. Say it again louder.
The wellness company. And Peter McCullough even blocked me here because I asked the question. I'm still making spike at 629 days. Oh, crap. I said it. 1,629 days after my shot. Still making spike. It didn't take a Yale study. We were bringing this a year ago. I went to Colorado where Warner was. Doctors came up to the mic and they said, we don't even know if you're making spike. Yes, I had my records. I had my records. Here you go. I would have shown them. I would have pulled it up on my phone. I would have done anything. The thing is, nobody's listening to us. I'm not trying to fuss, but what I am trying to say is we need help. We do need people to fight for us. I know all of you are tired, but we still need help because our health is getting worse. This year, I got worse than I was the first 2 years. I got hurt by the COVID vaccine. I had COVID in 2023, and then this past February. Now I'm on a cancer protocol. I have more diagnoses than I ever had in my life. I have a bag full of medicines, and that's what I have to look forward to. We have no lawyers, no one fighting for us. We're not acknowledged on the VICP. The CICP, 98% of the claims are denied. When are we going to get a break? When is somebody going to listen to us? All of us are just asking for help. You know, my son originally told me one time, he was real proud of me at first. He says, I'm so proud of you for speaking out. Then this past year, he said, you're never going to get compensation. You're never going to get anything. Why do you waste your time? Those people aren't helping you. You know, there's all those medications. I can make a quick cocktail. I can take it quickly out. And I've thought about that 100 times, but I think about my friends. I call me on the phone and want to cry and want to commit suicide. Don't want to be here anymore. And then when you have friends say, you are my voice, I will continue to be their voice. But we deserve better. I don't know how Julie does it. I don't know how a lot of my friends in here do it. My friends are here, Hattie's here. Heather, they're my big support group along with a lot of people in here. But I will no longer take supplements that don't work for me. I want someone to help and help my vaccine injured because we deserve a hell of a lot more. We need testing. We need more things that are going to help us. It needs fundraising. There's so much that can be done, but not be done. If there's anything that you guys can do for us, the solutions, let's leave today with solutions because in the past we've left events and we're quickly forgot about afterwards. Nobody remembers us after we leave. But if I say something horrible on Twitter, y'all are gonna remember who I am because I'm gonna get a lot of DMs and a lot of cranky things said to me for in its clear space. Lord have mercy. But let me tell you, let's leave today with solutions. Try to help some of the vaccine injured because we're going to try to help future generations. Pray for us. Find fundraising. There's people that can't afford IV therapy, HBOT, EVU, what have you. There's a lot of things that we need. Try to work with us. Ask us. Another thing is the elite doctors don't communicate with us. I know you do though. Jamie, you does, and Judy. There's a lot of doctors that don't talk to us. Just communicate with us. That's all we ask. But as for the state of Florida, I will continue to be a thorn in their side, and that is a promise.
Hurricane Shelley and Julie 3. And answer the question, why would you waste your time? Well, the truth is never a waste of time. What an absurd comment, an absurd question. Truth is not a waste of time, and justice is not a waste of time. An experienced international attorney and CEO of Clout Hub, Todd Callender is also the founder of Project Archimedes, a global fight against 5G. He is also the host of the Truth Be Told podcast. Lisa McGee is a teacher and a single mom who lost her job because she did not want to take the COVID-19 shot. Lisa changed her life to work with Todd Callender, and that's choice to do what she can to help support this. Welcome, Todd Callender. Lisa McGee, please.
Thank you. I'm not sure I deserve all that. Nice to be here. Look at all these beautiful faces. Oh, it's like a reunion. You know what I see out here? Beautiful, battle-hardened faces. 5 years. We've all been at this. Everybody looks the same in terms of the joy that they have in their hearts because we're still here. Right? We are still here. Deep in this fight, for those of you that don't know, we sued the Department of Defense to stop the shots because we knew that if we didn't stop them there, we weren't going to stop them. And it wasn't really us lawyers. It was heroes in the military that took what we did and then they multiplied. It's kind of like fracturing ice. It just went across the DOD. Colonel Chambers being one of them, by the way. Thank you, Dr. Pete. Lieutenant Colonel Teresa Long is not here. Unfortunately, she was supposed to be here because I was going to call her by name and point her out because it was her that reminded me 37 years ago, for the first time I heard the phrase, hold the line, hold the line. And that's what our military did. Well, where did that come from? One Colonel Chamberlain at Gettysburg, the Battle of Little Round Top. Our country, elements of our government attacked us. It's not the first time. Remember the Civil War? That's what Gettysburg was about. Battle of Little Round Top. Main Infantry, 22nd Regiment. Guy by the name of Colonel Chamberlain says, this is the battle of all battles. If Lee gets across Potomac, we're done. He gets joined by Pennsylvania. He gets joined by New York. They're overwhelmed by Confederate soldiers charging up the hill at them. They're short on ammunition. And the order comes down. Hold the line. And they did. And not only that, they ran out of ammunition. And then came the order no soldier ever wants to hear. Fix bayonets. And they charged down the hill. And they had a decisive win because they held the line. We are here. All of you held the line. And God bless you for so doing. Next to me is my friend and colleague, Lisa McGee. And between her and I, a whole lot of other really good people, Dax Choice, Clout Hub, our law firm, the Civil Rights Advocates, there's a lot of lawyers and doctors and everybody in here. We've all had the pleasure of collaborating for years. It's been my personal joy and honor. It's a mission from God. And we are all in this spirit together for this very reason. And so Lisa has been a blessing to all of us. She has researched, as the gentleman said, a school teacher by trade. Now she is a subject matter expert, legitimately, in all things attacks on humanity. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we are in World War III now, and the war is on us. And this beautiful lady has figured it out. She's figured out we are electrical beings. Our government figured that out a long time ago. She's going to explain to us a little bit about the science we're working on right now, because the attack is not over. It is time to fix bayonets. We're going on the offensive. God bless you all for being here. Thank you for your support. And it's now it's been time to be here.
Thank you, everybody. It has just been a pleasure working with Todd, and he's been such a wonderful mentor, and everybody has. And like he said, this is a community brought together by God, and we've just been wonderful, helping all of us along. But I don't have a background in the medical or scientific realm, but by the guidance of God, I did start to disseminate and go through patents of vaccines and the ingredients. And started off with just a few, and it's just grown into this orbit, this abyss of a consistent pattern that is used within these patents and that go into vaccines and basically the whole matrix of pharmaceuticals. And the idea behind them is, they are synthetic biology, but they're going in and they're morphed in with protein sequences that are bacteria based, but they have become digital. So they are software programs that are going into all of us, our children early on. And what they are doing is they are devices. They're considered devices. In their patents, they're referred to as devices, as tools, wireless body area networks. That's a big term that's now out and being exposed. But the mindset is, as Todd said, we are all electrical beings. We are a circuit system. We all are generate energy, we reproduce it, and we share it with one another. And those that we're in this fight with have for hundreds of years, centuries, tried to alter that and distort it and capture that, because energy is what moves the world. It is what we run on, and we are all part of that. And so if the goal is to capture that, harness it, and then repurpose it to run the AI grid, that is the essence of what a lot of this that we are in. And the diseases and illnesses that all of us suffer from because of that is also repurposed into energy, and just to make us sick, in the financial realm of all of that, to keep that supply and demand chain going. Todd had asked me to speak a little bit about the wearables that we're all now hearing about. And all of these devices, the infiltration system within will mesh with the outer mechanics and tools and devices that they now want to have us start to wear. Because it is about collecting our data, harnessing, and then ciphering humanity's data, infinite amounts of DNA storage, and it's all repurposed. And what we have discovered, and many have, all of us have, or are looking into this, is that this is all about also repurposing this energy to run the AI electrical ecosystem grid. That is what this is about. Humanity will be running it. We will be providing the energy. They're stealing it from us. The cybersecurity that is now going into Health and Human Services, it meshes and it ebbs and flows with Department of Homeland Security. The entire system is now one matrix that is connected, and it's collecting data from us. And yes, Palantir, Oracle, IBM. IBM is one of the, their favorite tool to use. That was one of the very first Department of Energy is steering this along with the DoD. And IBM had the very first supercomputer that ran Department of Energy's database. And when the ingredients in these vaccines that we are being put into us from our children, there are direct links within the patents that go directly to Department of Energy, and they are taking our energy, they're taking the data. They rewrite it, it goes as, we did not consent. No, we did not consent. We're stealing it. Palantir, MITRE, those companies, those massive monopolies of data, software, or, software, computerized AI tech now that they're turning into, they are all together, each has a very distinct and specific role that they're playing, but it is the depths of the cybersecurity to protect what they are stealing from us is astounding, and it's profound. And we're working on, exposing it. We expose it every day. There's so many of us that are, but it really is about what you just said. We have not consented to it. They're doing it. And all of these devices are proponents of that, and they're tools to be, for them to literally access and infiltrate the electrical system that we all are uniquely gifted with.
That's the fun fixing there, because the next attack is coming, and another one behind it. We do not consent, we will hold the line, and we're going on the attack. Really.
You mentioned your book.
Sorry, oh, Disease X. Anybody wants a copy? You're back here.
All righty, well, our next speakers, the reason I'm standing here today is because in 2020, a former federal prosecutor stumbled on one of my articles and got me involved in this medical freedom fight. Although we fight like siblings sometimes, I'm still honored to call him my friend and my mentor, Mr. Brad Byer. He's a former federal prosecutor of 21 years, turned freedom fighting attorney. With him is two wrongly convicted patriots, Enrique Terrio and Kelly Lennox, pardoned by our president.
Hey, everybody. So we're here. We made it. We made it this far. For me, this part of the peaceful war that we're all in began in February of 2020 when I was in Vietnam, and nothing that was happening in Vietnam was, in terms of the healthcare and the reaction to COVID was matching up with what was happening here. And basically ever since then, most of my life has been oriented around this effort that we're all in. It's a grassroots peaceful effort. It's a peaceful war. Restore our Constitution. We once again remind everybody that the Nuremberg protocols are still in effect. Requires informed consent. And all of us have taken winding paths to get here. It's been a bumpy road. Some of us have had to withstand drone strikes and everything else. No one has had it worse than the January 6ers. Although, do we really want to get into a comparison of people that had to survive a hospital with a torturous treatment, or having to watch what was done to our loved ones in hospitals, or have to watch what's been happening to people that have gotten this vaccine? It's not a comparison really, or an argument or a debate we really want to have. We're all profoundly victimized by this. In September 2020, I basically hit the panic button because I just watched this thing devolve. So I said, what am I going to do? As Cece mentioned, we had this idea about documenting everything that
Pen bonding.
Because
I know.
right around that time,
So I was one of the, I'm not gonna say one of the first ones, but I went hard on Pen Bondi, and then we put the lawsuit in. My lawyer's like, all right, you gotta chill.
shocked and
Well,
disgusted to learn
we need to win
they were
this
at
lawsuit.
that moment.
We need to. Listen, we don't have a chance in the world to beat it, to win, because there's no fucking judge that's gonna let it go. So we're hoping for a settlement. We got some, I'm gonna say good news the other day. So let's see if there's a settlement that comes in.
Commissary, they denied you religious freedom. They had that for a period of time during the real tough conditions of confinement that they had during the COVID hysteria, but it continued through that. They also cut off all their communications with their loved ones. Connie mentioned in the back, she doesn't want me to acknowledge it, but I will. She's waiting now. She also did prison time. It's completely preposterous. They falsely alleged that the Oak Keepers and the Proud Boys.
We lived down the street from each other, so we're just like.
See, I could say the DOJ. I just can't target Pam right now while I'm fucking trying to get a settlement out of
Yeah,
it.
don't compromise anything.
To it,
Been through
with
too
the
much.
defense counsel and the video reviewers in Gulag, we're able to set that plan. And
If I wasn't,
Could be an audio thing on there.
oh no,
Is that
that's
your guy?
my guy.
Okay.
I have full editing rights. But regardless of the fact, what we're doing, if I wasn't suing her, I'd fucking just blast her out.
It's a great honor for me.
I've been blasting her publicly, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, I've seen it. I was sharing your shit, and then when we put in the fucking
I know you'll appreciate this.
when we put in, my lawyer's like, all right, listen, dude, because my lawyer's a lawyer, you know. He's like, you're fucking typical fucking, I hate them all. And he's like, look, dude, you could shit on the DOJ, just don't fucking shit on Pam Bondi right now.
Protected? Protected right now? Protected?
No, it's not protected. It's just, since I'm suing them, she's the one that makes the decision.
Okay. Leave it alone.
And like Biggs, I don't give a fuck. Biggs needs it. We have three of the five of us are veterans, and they have, if they get pardoned, that's another thing. We're trying to get pardoned for them. And Biggs has already owed more than $250,000 in just his veteran benefits, not including anything medical.
I told you I met him when he got out. I was just like, that's all I could do now.
My name's
Cry.
Sally Meggs. I'm one of the leaders of the Oath Keepers.
Disgusting.
Oh wait, how long can I speak?
Teamed up
Where's,
with Born to Ride for 45, as you can tell by my vest. I chose to join those guys because they are fighters. They know what we went through. They asked us to join, and it's one of the only organizations I wanted to be affiliated with because they put a lot of time.
Hey, did they give us Did they give us like a fucking speaking time? Like how long?
Yeah,
we speak?
probably like maybe 10 minutes.
Okay. I probably won't have time.
When this happened to us,
Pleasure.
it destroyed our families. They took us away at gunpoint in the morning, early hours. Helicopters over there.
We were trying to set up, right? We were trying to trick Nick Quested to come in to do a sit-down interview, and we had him almost on the plane before he fucking turned around.
Check entertainers, put me in the back of the
I don't think
car, and took us to prison.
Actually, I don't think
I
he
spent
was
2 years in
fed at
DC
the
jail
time.
in solitary
I
confinement.
think after that is when they got to
The regiment was 23 hours a day locked down. You had 1 hour out. You could take a shower. You could make a phone call.
I had never before met.
That wasn't the bad part.
Me and Stuart hated each other, right? Because of some shit he did in 2019.
The treatment by the
So at that
guards,
point,
every time
it
you
was
came
just
out of
like,
the cell,
all
you
right,
had to be shackled and chained.
I don't like you, but I'll shake your hand.
Because
That was the first time I've ever heard his voice.
They put this in DC is because they utilized the Patriot Act to call us domestic terrorists. My actions that day never touched an officer.
I'm up
I
next.
protected Harry Dunn from the crowd when he was surrounded, and I helped the police get people out of the building.
I don't know, but we got like a limit of like 10 minutes.
Violated nothing. I was in the building for 19 minutes. They asked me to tell them that, number one, the leader of the Oath Keepers, Stuart Rhodes, told me to go in the building, and then they let me go home. And I said, that never happened. And they said, then you don't want to go home. And I said, I'll tell you anything you want to know, but I'm not going to lie. And they said, then you don't want to go home. And once you make that decision against the government of the United States, they unleash everything on you. The charges with the second highest crime in the country, treason is number one, seditious conspiracy is number two. We went through one of the largest trials in the history, and I can tell you this, when you're standing there in a federal courthouse and you're hearing guilty, 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 it is not fun. But I can tell you this, the pain and the suffering that we all endured is nothing compared to what it's done to our families. Our families have been broken down and destroyed. Most guys' wives left them, their kids won't talk to them, they've lost their homes, they've lost their jobs, and they can't get it anymore. I was making $250,000 a year running automotive dealerships, that's what I did. Now, I work for $4,000 a month, because no one will touch me. And that's what we're all going through. While I was in prison for 4 years, I saw my
If you
wife
can,
one time.
if you can, the WeDigitSixers.com is awesome, but if you can make a comment how it's pathetic
My
that
granddaughter was
conservatives
born,
are afraid to be in pictures with guys like you while they fly to fucking El Salvador.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
when we came back out, I didn't have the luxury of being with my grandchildren because they took them from us. Because they didn't want my grandchildren to be raised in a home with terrorists. So we had to let that fight when we got out. So the fight and the pardons and everything that Donald Trump did
are fantastic. I love the man. I'll never love anybody as much as I love Donald Trump as far as the president goes. I can tell you that right now. But the problem is what's going on underneath him. The DOJ is not doing all the things they need to do. The FBI is not doing all the things they need to do. The Republican House and Senate is not doing all the things they need to do. We have to ratify those executive orders, we have to make them into the laws of this country, and we have to take our country back. And until the people in this room, who are now all on the same terrorist watch list, by the way, so congratulations. Okay. Until you decide to use your voices and your power that you have.
So they could hear me.
It's not getting any sound. Whether it's local politics,
sound.
Because you're on my account, so you're not going to hear it. You're not going to hear me through the headphones.
Okay.
Because there's no feedback.
But they're hearing sound.
They're hearing sound. And you can test it. I'll keep talking. And, as a matter of fact, if there's anybody listening, can you comment right now and see if you can hear me?
They're playing a political game, and they're going to keep doing it and stealing from the American people. We know the 2020 election was stolen. We now know that the Chinese interference in the election occurred. We know that Mark Zuckerberg spent $400 million in advertising, getting free advertising.
Make sure that other mic is muted. It's off. So we're just on this one? Just on that one. Okay. If anybody's watching, can you please comment and tell me if you can hear me?
Does anybody know who started January 6th? Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz started January 6th. And this is how he started it. When they called Arizona and he stood up and he said, we want to challenge the certification of the ballots from Arizona. When he did that, the sergeant at arms in the House walked over to Nancy Pelosi and told her something, we don't know what she said. And at that same exact time, she stood up and left the podium with a lectern, right?
They can't hear Kelly though right now. But I don't think they care about hearing Kelly. They care about hearing me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
America First and MAGA senators and congressmen were going to challenge those 5 states. And they had to have a plan to stop it. And the plan was the riot. And that's what they did. I've got a book over here I wrote while I was in Philadelphia with an Army Ranger. He's also a constitutional history teacher. We wrote this book together. It's really right now one of the few sources of income I have. I've got it over here for sale. If you guys can help us out, we would greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Enrico Torrio, who was the head of the Proud Boys. I met him for the first time. It's over at the sidebar. But he was the focus of our pretrial prep because part of the government's narrative was that in the lead up to January 6th, Enrico Torrio and Stuart Rhodes had a sinister meeting in a parking garage.
Oh my goodness. Oh no.
Exactly.
Don't let it happen.
And the truth is that it was a chance meeting, at least as far as Stuart Rhodes and Enrico Torrio knew. Although there were a lot of people around them, some of whom may have helped arrange the meeting. But the bottom line is the Oath Keepers and the Proud Boys, separately nor together, had any intentions at any point in time of overthrowing the government, creating insurrection, sedition. It was all a total fiction. And this guy actually wasn't even there, and he'll tell you what happened to him. It's my great honor to introduce Enrico Torrio.
Thank you, brother. You guys remember January 6th as a date, right?
I don't. I forgot it.
I forgot it too.
Thank God. New day.
But there's another date where this all started. It was September 9th of 2016. What happened on September 9th, 2016? Hillary Clinton decided to call us all, everybody in this room, a basket of deplorables. We all took it in stride. We put it on t-shirts. But for them, that was the beginning of the dehumanization and the targeting of conservatives and Trump supporters. After that, move into 2017, they started shutting down, with the help of them, they started shutting down our social media profiles. It starts with speech. Then they move to financial platforms, apps like PayPal, Cash App, and many others that are like that. Then they started targeting credit card processors and shutting them down. Then they started targeting actual bank accounts, Chase Bank, Bank of America, and many others. Then in 2020, COVID. Not only did they try to shut down our speech, they tried to shut down our freedom of movement. These are all actions that they've taken against us. Then began the lawfare. They started suing us, they started arresting us, and we saw the summer of love happen. The fiery but peaceful protests that happened over the summer of 2020. And then on January 6th, a date that you all know, there was people that just walked into the Capitol and were given 10, 12, and 15 years. My brothers, and I'm still a little institutionalized, and I call them co-defendants sometimes, were given 10, 15, 17, and 18 years. They brought back a law from 1965 to put us in jail for multiple decades. I'm sorry, I'm really angry. Because every time that I think about everything that happened and what everybody went through and the trials and tribulations that they put our families through, it is the weaponization of the federal government for political purposes. And what are we doing? What are we doing? What has the DOJ done? By this time, Merrick Garland put 450 J6ers in prison and charged them. We got 4 dudes that keyed Teslas. That's what the DOJ has given us. We didn't vote for cheaper eggs. We voted for retribution and retaliation, and what is that? I'm not calling for violence. I'm calling for accountability. Alina Habba has done a great job. Alina Habba has put somebody, a member of Congress, that assaulted police officers on camera. And I find it poetic that she got charged with the 111A, a charge attributed to almost every J6er. And they didn't assault police officers. She did. But what has the rest of the DOJ done with that? They've done nothing. My loyalty lies with the president. I don't extend that loyalty to his nominees. We put their feet to the fire because we voted for him for one reason, and it's to make America great again. And he's done an amazing job of doing that. Congress has done nothing to codify anything that the president has done. Not one thing. The DOJ, not a single arrest.
for Donald Trump, I'd be sitting for the rest of my life in a federal prison. So when we talk about action, they took action. They did exactly, they used and manipulated the system to get what they wanted. And they did. For 4 years, they did. It was lawlessness. And I'm not asking for the DOJ to act erratically, because I believe if investigations start, we will find a crime. And if we find a crime, they will be indicted. And if they're indicted, they should be given a fair punishment. Not what they did to me, not what they did to Mr. Meggs, not what they did to Stuart Rhodes, not what they did to Joe Biggs, Zachary Real, Dominic Pizzola, and Ethan Nordine. I have a pardon. My 4 other guys, their sentences were commuted. 3 of them are veterans. I think anybody that went into the Capitol that day or was around the grounds, obviously I wasn't, deserve a full and unconditional pardon. And that is up to the President of the United States. But what they did to us, we need to do to them. I am tired of watching people that put us in chains walk free when I know that they committed those crimes. In our case, they destroyed evidence admitted by the same FBI that was tasked to investigate us. On the stand, she said that she destroyed evidence. They spied on our legal calls, and they were allowed to sit a jury. It's not even fair to the jurors that were sat there. They knew they were biased. They said that they could not be fair and impartial, and the judge still sat them. I believe that if me and Mr. Meggs over here were given at least a change of venue, we wouldn't need any pardons.
Nope.
If you've been in Texas, you wouldn't.
I don't know.
Any other district, the District of Columbia voted 93% for Joe Biden and 6% for Donald Trump. We paid $30,000 for a poll. We polled the residents of DC. 93% had a negative opinion about the Proud Boys. Out of that 93%, 76% said that we were already guilty without looking at any evidence. They still sat them. So we've talked about the past, let's talk about the future. What can we do to go on the offense? Because we've been on defense so long. The beauty of the MAGA movement in 2016 was we were always on the offense. We always had them walking on eggshells, and I feel like we're the ones walking on eggshells now. So 2 weeks ago, we decided to go on the offense. We sued the DOJ, the United States of America, and a couple of FBI agents for their actions regarding January 6th. We can't just fight cultural battles on the internet. As much fun as I have destroying liberals on Twitter, we got to do more. And we start with lawfare. And we start with petitioning, like my friend Ann over here, petitioning the government to do their job. We need to do more because it's not just up to the president, it's up to this movement. It's up to this new Republican Party. I call it the new Republican Party. Because if we don't, what happens in the midterms? I feel like we're going to get annihilated in the midterms. Congress has done nothing. The DOJ has done nothing. And do you expect people to come out enthusiastically to vote? What happens when the Democrats take over Congress? One word, impeachment. Within 30 days, they will impeach the president of the United States. Will it pass the Senate? I don't know. What happens in 2028? If we don't take action now, you already know the answers to those questions. So I ask you guys, excuse my language, to get off your asses and start doing something. I thank you guys for listening. I thank you guys for having this beautiful event. I appreciate it. We're located in the best state of the union. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Here, buddy.
Okay, guys, one quick speaker before lunch, and then we're taking lunch on Monday, if you ordered it.
Good seeing you, man. You got to pass by the studio.
Where's that?
Miami.
We're gonna be down there next month.
Hey,
So you guys never, you and Rhodes didn't like each other.
before. Yeah, from before. I mean, after that, obviously we get along. He comes on the show.
Tell him about what they were trying to do is there's a guy by the name of Todd Wilson, and he came in through the west, went through the door. Talking about Todd Wilson, he went so hard that he basically disbarred him. They disbarred him.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So you talk about lawfare. He's like they placed a phone call to the bar. You know, it happened so fast.
They admitted in court off a seal that they were talking to the Virginia State Bar.
No, you could keep it. Sorry, but one more thing. You guys have filled out. Did Stuart or anybody get that pardon petition in that pardon sense? Yeah. Y'all pardon
Filled
petition.
out what?
The pardon petition.
Yeah, they've all going in.
Have gone in.
But you get it. Yeah, but
Did you guys put it in through? Yeah, Ticton or whatever. Was it in that stack, that pictured stack? Okay, perfect.
And I filed mine also with the
Direct one. Yeah. I can't say much, but I think there'll be good news at some point.
How much time were you in the pen?
I was in there for 3 years, 35 months.
And you were nowhere near January 6th.
Dude, nowhere.
That's crazy.
No, I wasn't allowed. I wasn't allowed. No, and on top of that, it's a conspiracy. I mean, I'm not stupid. I know how conspiracies work.
But Quest brought you into the district.
No. The way that story works is I was coming in and I was filming with Nick Quested because we've been filming for a couple months prior. So he picked me up with an FBI informant, which ends up being one of my guys. We didn't know this until fucking we get to trial. Kenny Lizardo.
Okay.
And he picks us up, and then it was my choice to go to meet with Bianca Gracia, and our attorney for Latinos for Trump ends up being Kelly Sorrell, and then Kelly Sorrell, I find out, Stewart was well. At first, I thought it was just the lawyer thing, and during trial, were you in the Stewart trial, or were you the second one?
He was the first one.
Man, when I heard all the text messages, I couldn't. Man, I wouldn't have been able to keep a straight. I mean, I hardly kept a straight face through my whole trial. You couldn't. Yeah. It's so ridiculous. But we were meeting with her because I needed a fucking attorney because the attorney that they appointed was absolute garbage. Yeah. You know, I ended up keeping him, and he was such a poor attorney. You guys are attorneys. I would just verbally tell him, "Hey, I think this is a good legal strategy," and he'd be like, "Oh yeah, okay," and write it on paper, and we'd fucking get denied. But
I know about it. He started out in 2021 with, I think, the framework of cult deprogramming. It's like this whole, you have to like chip away little by little about the narrative. And the whole thing about the presidential debate was when it started, I think, is a complete fantasy. About Biden mentions you guys did, and they blame that.
Yeah.
I want to say too that just yesterday, I think on Twitter, a congressman repeated, some unknown congressman, that 5 people died. And I think
echoing that.
But it's so far gone that that's actual malice. I think I think there needs to be a mass lawsuit against this lie.
The problem that I've always had, it's a little easier now. The problem I always had is finding a civil attorney, like a civil litigator. It's always difficult.
They're horrible. No, they're horrible.
We were able to shop our civil attorney for this case, thankfully. But like, if I go in any other direction, civil litigators are like, it's too much work.
No.
I need this much.
I know. I mean, it's
where we just sue.
because we can take a little time, but the thing is you only got like 1 year, in some states 2 years. But he just said it yesterday, and after the pardons, there was this orgy of news coverage.
There's all kinds of stuff you got there now.
So
Orgy of news coverage about
in the last 6 months, yes.
Yeah,
So
within a year, you'll find that anywhere.
And the thing is like you can be defamed by name or by a description that makes it clear who they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So they have defamed everybody for murder. I mean, it's not just like, oh, I stubbed your toe. You killed 5 people according to their.
He's a great legal scholar. That's why I loved him as one of the best legal scholars.
I mean, the thing is, like you, I just get mad. I can't. It's just so pissed off.
Yeah. Where would the best state be?
That's what we were talking. We were talking about Stewart yesterday. We were talking about it, about where he wants to go to Montana because his wife defamed him in Montana.
Too long ago. Like in ours, we filed in the Middle District of Florida. We have to actually refile, but we'll be refiling like on Monday or Tuesday. And we already got the server, so all the subpoenas will be served by Tuesday, so they have 30 days.
And of course, the problem with a lot of this legal action is there's too many things going on, but you can always amend and add. If something new happens, you're perfectly free to add it.
Yeah.
So
right now, I think also suing the DOJ. One of the things that I tried to do with my lawsuit is try to encourage other J6ers to put in these lawsuits, because there's 2 ways to go about it. There's a tort thing, and
Class action stuff.
the class action stuff isn't going to work. There's a tort, which a lot of J6ers are doing, but I want more J6ers to sue, because if we put that pressure on,
This is the retina. On one side, it is exactly missing. Yes. Not quite important. So I'm going to walk mostly, but not so much. It is over. Okay. How to hard to stay focused now? Okay. Maybe it's more polite. All right. So on this picture here was from China. All right. What shows here is that the retina starts to shrink, totally shrink, because of the exposure. This is blue light exposure 2 weeks in front of mice. They showed the retina starts to get disorganized and shrink. So the interplexiform layer, big names, internuclear layer, outer nuclear layer, and the retinal pigment epithelium all decreases with the more exposure. This shrinkage then causes it to atrophy, die off, and the macular degeneration persists because of consistent exposure to blue light. Last slide. This is for my COVID friend over here, my fluorine dioxide friend, because he wanted me to do Indian accent. So everybody knows if you want to be mellow, you must do yellow. There you go. So, yellow tint. See, overpronounce words. Tint. Say, tint. You are very good. Okay. So, the yellow tint makes things sharper, crisper, decreases your anxiety. Everybody here is pretty anxious. I heard the guy just before. Bookkeeper, you scare me. Okay. But very in a good way. Good way. He's a good man. Okay. So it blocks these headlights, the LED from the light from the cars. It blocks from all these things here. You want to be mellow, you choose yellow. You cannot sleep at night, don't write. Oh, I'm bored. Didn't know. Okay. You don't write, use orange. Increases melatonin. If you cannot sleep, you will sleep like baby. Where are you, Jimmy? You need this. You need orange. Okay. Sorry, don't. It is bad. You need to sleep. You need to take rest. You get rest, you'll be sharp in the morning. You're very sharp in the morning. Get strong glory. Okay. So, helps with the retinal disorder, helps with calculating, helps with sleep, decreases problems, life is improved. And here, 20% off. Always do it. When we don't need to do it. 20% off for fighters. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Okay, it is lunchtime. Ordered, in Keyote, outside, otherwise there's a
Yeah, we're still live. Why is the camera pointing this way? Let's get the camera pointing this way. Let's do a little pod. Oh, fuck. Wait, hold on.
Got any comments on that fall? I know you got some comments on that fall.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I was, I don't know if our viewers saw it, but like somebody fell off stage.
Yeah.
That was wild.
I don't think the sound was playing. I don't really want to extort the lady. She did it. She handled it
No,
like
she
a
was great.
gangster.
She's like, I'm
I was
okay.
proud of her.
But how did she fall?
I didn't see it. I see her get up.
So she was,
But it was on there.
She
It
was
was
looking
live.
at the thing.
So Barry, come on here on camera a second.
Do you have headphones going on? Can they hear us?
We don't need headphones because we don't have anybody that's with us.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen?
The camera's really good.
It is. I love that thing.
Here, actually, I gotta take this off because, you know, I hate it when people fucking like on YouTube they're grabbing the DJI.
Yeah. Looks like you can insert a home.
Let's get fucking professional here because we're here at Warboys Studios. We're a professional organization, media organization.
100%.
More accurate than Fox News.
Yeah. I remember my time in Afghanistan with Hillary Clinton when the bombs were coming in and we were filming live, and that was the start.
Were you under sniper fire?
I was under sniper fire with Hillary Clinton. Chelsea was there, hard hats, and that was the start of my media career. Was that? I think sounds good.
So, what do you think about this event so far?
I don't believe we're going to have a YouTube account anymore, since a lot of people were talking truth about vaccine awareness. But it was good to see people speaking up and speaking out. The welcoming from you is good. I still remain, I don't like that we have Democrats flying to El Salvador to have cocktails.
Just to tell you, I was going to promote the wearethej6ers.com.
But you didn't.
But I didn't because I was told that I need to get off the mic as soon as possible.
Nice. Okay.
That's why I had to cut my
why?
My rant. I don't even say it's a speech. It was like a rant.
Why? Was it because your time was up or people were unhappy that you were up there?
No, I think I went over my time.
Okay.
I was supposed to only have 10 minutes, and I think I was in there for like about 12.
Oh, you rebel, you.
I know. Always breaking the fucking rules.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of Maha people. Is that how you say it, Maha?
Yeah.
That sounds weird.
It's
a lot of Maha people.
Like a local restaurant called Flanagan's would have on their menu.
As most people know, that I'm pro making America healthy again, but I don't practice what they preach. As most of you have seen our show, I'm hopped up on Red Bull, coffee, cigarettes, and right now Coca-Cola.
Being in the studio with you while you chain smoke while we go live it's inspired me to come up with a chemotherapy that actually comes in cigarette form. I think that would be really beneficial.
Did you see the video of that liberal podcaster that he went fucking ballistic because somebody called his vape pen? Well, they called the vape pen a vape pen, and he called it an anxiety pen.
I did not see that.
Oh, please. I want you to watch it so we can cover it on Monday. It's probably going to be old news by then, but it's still fucking hilarious.
It's recent?
Yeah. Yeah.
We got to see that.
Actually, let's take this. I don't know if this makes it any better.
I don't know. It looks better. It looks a lot cooler.
Yeah.
That looks weird.
So we're here at a lunch break right now. So stay tuned in. We're going to turn the camera over to the stage. We got some conversations to have, and we'll be back on in about 30 minutes, 45 minutes. All right. Thank you, guys.
Hey, Enrique. How do you feel about going down to Clematis Street and just doing some meet and greets on Clematis Street? Like, we could go to lunch down there. We could go to Greaseburger or something. Take you guys over there, park in the little parking lot there, and then just take the camera on the street.
Yeah, we could probably do that. We did some, we're supposed to be going, let me put this over here.
I think we probably have our fill here, do you think?
I don't think so. I just want to wait until...
I mean, because if you want to go for lunch now and come back, And then we're about 5 minutes from the place called Howley. We can go to lunch there. Come back. It looks like it's a great come back. I'm taking you guys down to lunch, so we can come back. Get another hour of footage and then maybe go up to Matter Street. Yeah, and just go out there and maybe just do some man on the street shit.
You'll get a big response.
Yeah, no, I think we were going to do it in LA. That kind of got put on the back burner with all of the riots. Mostly peaceful. Exactly.
Language matters.
Yes.
Got a great restaurant down there.
Yeah, for now. Plant-based Palm Beach Gardens.
And he's like,
Let's see.
but he makes good vegan. Give me the vegan. I do.
I don't have a car on me. I used to have an Instagram, but they wiped out my Instagram. Rhode Island, my wife's from Rhode Island. She thinks she's in the Rhode Island mafia. All the Italian bros.
I'm kind of liking that West Palm Beach idea. I don't know. I'd rather film it and get some shorts out of it. Live stream it, unless we can do both.
We can probably do that.
Now, it won't create any shorts if you stay for 2 hours. The auto-generated one. So we have to end the stream,
Restart it.
and restart it. Or find another way to stream. We got the West Palm Beach Boys. Why is it fucking Willie Basher out? Have a guy.
I haven't told them. I didn't tell them. Because I know it's a paid event, and like whatever is a paid event.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can.
You guys want to do that?
Meet one of them to come down so we can stream and I can get shorts. Because streaming would be awesome as well.
They're all at Jim's house.
They're doing there.
Because they're having a meet because Paul was down there until now from Trigger City. I just want to be here whenever Ivan gets here. Or we could go eat.
When do you want to be here for?
Ivan.
When is he speaking?
No, he's not speaking. I'm not staying here. But he's going to get here at like 2 something. Hey, can you get this?
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah. And I'm telling you, if you put a fucking weed. Okay, gotcha. That is good.
And it's a drive-through. We come each driving.
Right now, trying to figure out now that is what the hell the deal is. We might go out and throw some people on the streets. All right, sounds good. And then you have my phone number too?
Well, when?
Yeah, right.
Let's get you guys some lunch. And we can throw it too, right? Yeah, I will.
for the happy to say